I wanted to talk today about credit repair and rapid rescoring. So when you're in the middle of a refinance or a purchase, you actually can get advice on what you can do to boost your credit score. And then the credit score can be what's called rapid rescore. And you can use that new credit score to take advantage of either the interest rate you chose being cheaper or getting a lower interest rate. And the cool thing about this is you don't have to have like the worst credit to do this. Like you can have, I recently had a client that had a 713 credit score. We did this credit repair. So don't let that make you feel bad that we're doing credit repair. So we did it he was at 713. We got him to 721 and it saved him $1,500 on his closing costs. So like, I love that. I like a good deal. I'm always trying to like keep in mind for people what we can do to save them money. And so this is actually a great way to do it. I send a lot of business to a lending partner that does this for people for free. So any loan officer can help you know what you can do to boost your score. But when you do the rescore, it usually costs money per, like let's say you have 5 credit cards that you have to do something to boost your score. You have to pay each of those 5 accounts to do that rescore. But I work with a company who they won't charge for it. So they'll do the rescoring for free. So it's awesome. So I try to take advantage of it as much as we can. So I wanted to give you an example of what that looks like for, like what that means. What are kind of some real world examples? So I did a loan, just a conforming 625 loan amount. They had 20% equity in their house. So something to remember is that if you have a lot of equity in your house, interest rates determined off of credit score and equity. And if you have a lot of equity in your house, your credit score doesn't matter so much. It's like it's offset by the equity. But if you just have like 75, or not 75, but if you just have 25% equity, then your credit score really does make a big difference. So 625 loan amounts, 20% equity. If you had a 710 credit score, the interest rate today at 3.19 gives you a lender credit of $1,000. So you get $1,000 to apply towards your closing costs. So not too bad. It's a good rate. If we can do the rescoring and boost your score to 720, that same interest rate, the lender will give you $1,400 in credit. So $400, why not? That's like almost the cost of an appraisal. So that's still good. But if we can get the score to 740, then the credit from the lender is actually $4,100. So that's basically a free loan right there. You either keep the same interest rate and get the $4,000 credit, or maybe you could get an even lower interest rate. So I love that. I think that's so awesome. So here are some of the ideas of what is being asked to boost your credit score. This is something that we ask the credit agency is not the right word for it, but we ask our credit repair team, what can these guys do to boost their score? And here's some examples of the things that I've seen. So one of them is, and most of the time actually, is paying down debt. Sometimes it's not very much, and it's not even paying off all the debt or paying off the whole card. Maybe it's just paying it down to a certain amount. Sometimes it is expensive. Sometimes there's a lot happening and you've got to pay down a lot, but that is not always the case. Sometimes they'll have you pay it off. Sometimes they'll just have you pay it down. And sometimes they will want you to pay it down to like a $5 balance. So that's one of the things that has to happen. You get a letter from the credit card. So let's say it's Capital One. You have them send you a balance letter. It can't be a screenshot of what your account says. It's got to be a letter from them that says this is what the balance is as of today. We turn it into our credit repair team. They submit it to the agency, and then the rescore gets done from that. And it takes about a week. If you are doing this because of credit cards, you don't want to use that credit card until we get the score back. So that's one of the ways. Something that I've seen is so simple, and it's just being removed as an authorized user on someone else's card. So maybe you're an authorized user on your parents' account, or maybe your husband doesn't have great credit and you're an authorized user on his card, and he's not going to be on the loan, so it's just going to be you. So if you remove yourself as an authorized user on that card, it automatically boosts your score because they're no longer taking into account that stinky credit. On the flip side of it, that could help boost your score. If you are a parent of teenagers, I highly recommend, if you have good credit, to put them as authorized users on your card so that they can start building some good credit. Another thing, if you are young, and well, I guess you don't have to be young, but if you haven't established very much credit, if you've just thought the best way, the Dave Ramsey way of life is to just pay cash for things and not have credit, that will not help you buy a house. So it's not a great suggestion. But what you can do is get a secured credit card. So normal credit cards are not secured. You have a credit limit, you spend it, you pay it, and you get a credit score. If you have a secured credit card, what you're doing first is you are giving that bank, say it's $500. You're giving them $500, and that's a secured credit card. Now that's what your limit is. And you can now spend money on that credit card. You still have to make a payment. That secured amount is not like an advance on a payment. It's just the credit company feeling good about, if you stop making your payment, they still have their money. So that's what a secured credit card is, but that can boost your score pretty quick. So there are 3 different companies that I suggest and share using. So if you're interested in needing that kind of thing, then let me know. I'm happy to send you a link, or we can put a link in the bio here too. So if you have any questions, I'm available to chat. I'm licensed to do lending in California and Utah. I have colleagues all over the country that I would be more than happy to pass you along to if you're not in my area. But I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, send me an email. My number is 209-640-1710. So good luck. Happy credit repairing. Interest rates, your credit score, it determines how much you pay for stuff in life. So always good to have good credit.